Good evening, everybody. This is Joseph Grimm, lead investigator of Grimm's Cryptic International Paranormal Trackers. I have taken a short leave of absence from the paranormal to build up what is called SEALIC, SEALIC, which stands for Strategic Emotional Analyst Life Intelligence Coach. How I will break it down is we're all looking for some type of strategy in life, so therefore we'll start with the strategy. I will help you build a strategy how to dig deeper and further into your emotional self. I will give you I will help you strategize how to dig deeper into yourself, gaining a deeper understanding of yourself, being able to lay out a strategy of how you're going to proceed from here, and be able to simplify it for yourself to where you can lay out the foundation of how you're going to run this. Now, on the emotional level, we as human beings, or people in general, certain people in general, have a hard time understanding their emotions. They don't like digging deep into themselves because they don't have the discernment or the emotional intelligence enough to be able to recognize certain things going on around them emotionally. It has to get to a point where you ask yourself, at what cost? At what cost am I going to continue to abandon my morals, my self-worth, my self-values to remain in a situation? If you're being verbally abused, sexually abused, having domestic violence shoved upon you, being bullied, at what point are you willing to keep compromising, minimizing, rationalizing, compartmentalizing, making all sorts of excuses, continually doing the fuck shit to yourself to stay within a certain situation? At what cost? At what cost has it actually cost you to? What have you lost to stay within this situation where you think you're happy, but you're not? Now, the analyzing point of view, the analyst point of view, by this level now you have reached the ability to be very analytical on yourself, be able to analyze and look at pieces of yourself that you've abandoned. You've reached the point of being able to analyze yourself on an emotionally deep level by now and have that strategy that you're laying down to continue to recognize within yourself the excuses that you've made, the compromises you've made, how you've minimized your abuser's actions or whoever they may be or whatever the situation may be affecting you. And you've gotten to the point where now you're starting to recognize how you compartmentalize things, how you have abandoned your authentic self. Now on to the life living side of it. By now you've gained the level, you've got the level where you can start living your life, where you can abandon those clothes that were placed upon you by the dramatic and traumatic situation and by your abuser that he fashioned you to wear with your emotions. You've gained the ability where you have the strategy, the foundation to lay out with where you could recognize, where you have the emotional discernment by now to recognize the excuses in the justifications that you made to allow yourself to have gain put in your mind where you've gotten so used to it or accepted it that it's going to continue happening. By now you've reached that level where you can start abandoning those clothes that abuser or the situation has placed upon you. Now the next level is intelligence and integrity. gotten now to the point where you have the emotional intelligence enough to recognize that you've been throwing away your integrity, that you haven't been being honest and true to yourself, being the authentic you. You've gotten to the point now where you can start taking your power back. You've gotten to the point where you can say, hey, no more. I'm stepping out of the light. I'm stepping away from you. This is not healthy for me anymore. I'm not going to take the abuse anymore. I'm not going to rationalize for you. I'm not going to minimize for you anymore. You have the emotional intelligence and your emotional integrity back completely intact by now. It's not going to happen overnight. This may take months or years to continue doing this coaching lifestyle. Now you've got to the point where you're coaching yourself. You've gained your composure back, where you can say, hey, no more. I'm not doing this abuse anymore. I'm not doing this shit anymore. I'm done with this. This is the level you should have gotten to by now. Using my strength, using my technique of being a strategic, emotional, analyst, life intelligence coach. Using this style, it'll give you greater, deeper understanding of yourself. I hope I just broke this down enough for you who's ever out there watching to fully understand this. Peace out, everybody.